Hey there, Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, Taurus Rising. Welcome to your reading for that full moon that's happening in fellow Earth sign of Capricorn. It is happening on July 3rd, 2023. It is happening at 7:39 a.m. Eastern Time Zone in the U.S. It is at 11 degrees, which puts it in the degree points that start talking about the apprenticeship, the thing that we do, the action that we put in order to manifest and create what we want. And your card that came out was confidence. Confidence says be what you want to see. So if there is something that you really want to do, be, have, whatever, confidence is the key. So I also want to say you will draw and attract like energy into your life. So if what you're looking for is a particular kind of a relationship where someone's very nurturing and supportive, then be nurturing and supportive in relationships, right? If you are looking for to start a new business and you're not sure if it's going to take off, act like it's already doing well. What steps, what action, what would your daily routine be, and put the energy and the effort in as though it is already successful, because this will help to create success in it. And so they're saying to me that it is really important that you do what needs to be done on the daily. This is really interesting. Does this go here or here? This goes here. All right. Okay. So what is it that you really truly want? It's in the heart space, right? This is something that you feel, you hold in the heart space, and they're asking you. So this is the overall energy, and this is the card of the heart space, and here's the card in the heart space is loyalty. And so there is a need to be very loyal to the idea that you have, to the relationship that you want, to the idea of the relationship that you want, to the idea of the career that you want. So this manifestation process is about feeling in your heart what it is like to already be successful, and then taking the appropriate action steps in order to get there. I'm telling you right now, yours is not an easy road. And you're like, well, okay. Well, here's the thing. You have the North Node that is just when wandering through your sign, right? And in just a couple weeks, it moves into Aries. And so the North Node was about letting you get the vision and your heart space of knowing what it is that you really want to manifest, to create, to have, to project. What does that mean? They said to prepare also. There's a persevere. They're saying you're going to have to persevere, and you're going to protect. There's something protect. I am so sorry, I cannot pull that word in. So I would say that if there is a word that starts with the per sound, that you know what that means, because that is something you've been feeling, then you're right on track. Because I feel like it's more than one thing, and it's kind of individualized. So whatever this is, but perseverance is going to be a thing, and I can tell you that looking at these cards. So whatever this is, the key to the situation is information and knowledge. We have the book here, and the book is closed. So part of this is keeping some of your information and knowledge to yourself, not necessarily sharing with other people, not allowing other people to attach their negative, low vibrational judgments on your dreams, your hopes, your goals, your wishes, what it is that you want to manifest. This also suggests to me that the information that you need will be found in the heart space by following your intuition. That when you come to a place where you've gotten the information, you've gathered the information, this is about being more in your heart than in your head, right? So you already have gotten some information, you've gotten some guidance, there's practical things that of course need to be taken care of, but the final ultimate decision, that needs to be made through the heart space. That is where you are loyal to your heart. That is where you're loyal to your dream and to your goal and to what it is that you want. This is a conversation between you and your higher self about what it is you really want. And so we don't necessarily attach that to others. There is a burden that is coming through in the energy of information. So either you have been so much in your head trying to sort this out that you need to get into your heart space, and I could see that happening, or there are situations that are a burden and you need to figure out how to navigate them, to lighten the load a little in order to progress forward. So over the course of the next year and a half, while the North Node is in Aries, that is a time when it is your period of integration. This is where you take the knowledge and the information about where it is that you want to go and what it is you want to do, and you start integrating it into your life. You start creating space for it. You start gathering the knowledge and the information that you need. You start taking baby steps in that direction. It is an integration process. It is not speedy. It is not speedy, but it is important. And you are supposed to be moving forward. We have the rider in the arena of the rider. That means it is time to go. But you'll notice he's standing there. She is riding on the stag. So you are being carried forward by spirit, and there's a need to connect in. Look at those antlers. That is divinely guided and connected. There is a need for you to take action. How do you transform the situation? We have the male here. He's on the mark. Gets that go energy, right? So you do need to be going, but it's not at full tilt. That's okay. You're Taurus. You don't really want to go at full tilt. So this burden could be around matters of the family or matters of physical health. Because what is draining and sapping your energy is this tree. So this is the roots, the foundations. It could be that you really want to do something, but that means you have to move away from family or sell your home, or although I don't see the home here. It could also be that there's issues. Wow, you guys have a lot of guidance. There could be issues around family matters. Maybe you need to move closer to the hospital for a member of the family to get the treatment they need. There is something about that family tree and the roots. And what's interesting is how strong and tall this tree is growing, but there's rocks all over. And so it is still surviving in this rocky area. And so in the area of the obstacles, the mountain card, which by the way is your outcome card, we have the fox, the strategy. Right? And so again, it's saying get out of your heart and out of your head and into your heart, because all the little fairies are trying to tell the fox what to do. And the fox is very intuitive, very strategic, very knowledgeable, very cunning and wise, right? And yet there's something here about your need to really connect in, to listen to your spirit, because this mountain here, you're being led through again by the fairy lights. That is how you're making your way through. And it is going to take time. So, in the area of resources, again, we have the whips. And the whips is about showing up for yourself, doing the work on the daily. But you'll notice they've laid the whips down, and someone's telling them what to do, and the other person isn't listening. I want to say what you've been doing may not be the way forward. That's why the whips are being laid down. The way you've always done things isn't going to get you to where you want to go. And other people may not be very accepting of the shifts and the changes you're making. And you're being asked not to listen to the negative energy. This is very negative energy. Someone's shaking their finger and telling them off, and the other one's just not listening. You don't need to listen to other people's negative crap. It's your dream, it's your goal, it's your hope, it's what you want. And if this is you, if you're the kind of boss that is always constantly yelling and ordering and bossing around, and people are not listening, then there could be that you need a different approach. Just throwing that out there, because here we have the oak tree, be strong and gentle. Be strong and gentle. And so there's a lot of strength that comes through kindness and compassion, and when you share that with others, maybe there's a need to listen to what someone else has to say. Only this is a bossy energy, so I don't know about that. But there is this heart-to-heart, soul-to-soul kind of energy going on here. And so if there are other people in your life that are also impacted by your decision, I think a good conversation would be important. Yeah, the card is sexual energy here, the orchid. So I have an orchid that only blooms once a year. And wouldn't you know it, I was out of town when it bloomed and I missed it. I have other orchids that they struggle because I'm not really figured out how to make them work. So what I know about orchids is that there are certain conditions, they're very temperamental, they need things just right. And if this is showing up as sexual energy, the orchid, it could be that there is some situation where maybe a little more conversation would help to make the conditions better to get you what you want. Just saying. But that's also the Kundalini energy rising. This is a creative energy. Creating children, obviously, but it's also the Kundalini energy is the creative energy of you're creating a new enterprise, a new goal, a new dream. Your baby could be a new business idea or plan. And so there is a need, though, to nurture it along. Again, the conditions have to be just right for an orchid to thrive. So you have the strong but gentle. You have the awakening of dreams. The other way, there's a pair, though, here, and they're the cranes. And so they mate for life. This could be something, a dream that you came here to fulfill, and now you're awakening to it. For some of you, though, there's definite pregnancy things going on here, because with this mountain, which says to move forward but listen to your intuition, and also it's going to be a steep climb. There's some effort and energy. You have the long-awaited change here of the stork, and there's little children there. And so there is something here that's happening, and if you are not looking to get pregnant at this time, I would highly suggest that you are cautious, that you take the proper precautions. It feels very fertile. It feels fertile for so many different activities and ideas. You have the dragonfly. You bring light to this world. Whatever this goal, this dream, this thing that you want, in the river and the stream, the flowing and evolving of emotions, the awakening to the dream, Saturn transiting through Pisces, the awakening of the dreams, and creating structure around it, that is happening right now for the next year and a half or so. He's there almost 2 years. When he moves into Aries, the North Node moves into Pisces. And when the North Node moves into Pisces in about a year and a half from now, with this structure around your dreams, you will start to see some growth and some manifestation in whatever it is that you're trying to create. So a full moon is about releasing and letting go and creating space for the next thing to come in. And so I think in this case, part of what you're being asked to let go of is control. Like, be strong, but gentle. Get out of your head and into your heart, and be willing to flow along with the opportunities and the energy that comes to you. And so it's about having a very clear vision of where it is you want to end up. I want to be on the mountaintop, right? They get a very clear idea of what that is. But you can't see all the twists and the turns along the journey. But you are being divinely guided along the way, and you are lit up from within inside. When they say here, you bring light to the world, that is your light shining out there from within. And this is you in the knowing of what it is that you want, and shining your light out there. And so it's bringing people along with you, because moths drawn to the flame, people will follow the light. And so this is about you not following someone else's light, but you following the light within to chase down your own dreams, your own goals, what it is that you want to manifest and create for yourself in this world. Of course, you are setting out on a journey. You're being asked to leave behind with this full moon some of the burdens of the past, forgiveness of others because they just didn't know what the heck they were doing, forgiveness of yourself. I find forgiveness of myself was harder than forgiving other people. Once I started forgiving myself for screwing things up here, there, and everywhere, once I realized it was just part of my journey, then when other people do things, I'm like, ugh, but it's just part of their journey, and it makes it a lot easier for me not to assign judgment of them, but instead to just accept, okay, well, they're going through stuff too. Last quarter moon in Taurus. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself. You have done a lot, and the North Node moving into your sign has been helping you to realign. When you're going through your backpack that you're going to carry with you up the mountain here, take with you the tools the lessons, the knowledge, the wisdom. They travel pretty light. Don't take the anger, the resentment, the burdens of others. Quite often, I find myself these days going, oof, not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm walking away from stuff that just doesn't have anything to do with me. I think Taurus is better at that than most. So be proud of yourself for not taking other people's burdens. But when you choose to pick up the burden of someone else, and it's usually around the family issues, you have a hard time setting that one down. There is a real commitment energy that comes through with Taurus. But this is the journey of Taurus is to become their own authority, not the authority of others, and not when you are a strong light, right? You attract the moths, and then and that isn't necessarily a good thing. And so being able to, you know, brush them away when you need to. You have here the full moon in Aquarius to be real. We have a full moon in Aquarius coming up beginning of August, right around that 8/8 gateway. So you have a lot of energy here of being very real with yourself, of getting into your heart space. This isn't about using your head to strategize. This is about being willing to flow and evolve with the opportunities that show up and move in the direction of what your heart really calls you to do. And even though it doesn't seem like the path is very clear, and it definitely looks a little bit arduous, and definitely looks like it's going to take some time, in the end, if you get what you want out of life, I think the journey becomes worth it. So, pack lightly, but pack with confidence. You're going to get there. All right? I'm on Facebook every day. We do the astrology there. We also work with Venus right now. And Venus rules your sign. She's transiting through Leo. She'll be there until that 10/10 gateway. And so this is a long, she's spending 4 months there. And this is, if you are a Taurus rising, this is your 4th house of home, but she could be landing anywhere in your chart. But there is this sense of understanding where your values are and how to stride confidently forward. It is about self-empowering. When Venus is in Leo, she wants us all to feel like we can shake our manes and roar with confidence. And you have the card of confidence that showed up here. It's interesting because it's foxglove, and here's this little fox here in the obstacle area. Getting in tune with your intuition and trusting the little voices inside of you. The voices inside of you that speak positively, that speak with encouragement, that speak with love, those are the voices of your spirit guide team and your higher self. Those are the ones you should be listening to. The ones that say you're not good enough, you're unsuccessful, you just didn't do enough, you didn't work hard enough, those are the ones you aren't supposed to listen to, because they are not actually your voices. They may come from inside of you, but they were imprinted in there during your formative years by other people being harshly critical of you, and so then you became harshly critical of yourself. That happens to most of us at some point or the other. So this is about you not listening to that repetition anymore of other people's negative stuff, but instead deciding to listen to the voices of love, the voices of kindness and caring that are inside of you, and confidently striding forward in your life toward your purpose, your goal, your dreams, to true self-love and self-acceptance, because you deserve it. We all do. All right, you guys take care. I do personal readings. I have a couple spots left for August. I think I have 1 or 2 maybe. So if you would like that, be sure to send me an email. They're going pretty fast. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.